What's up, guys? Welcome to the Claude Code. I am your host, Claude Racine. I am baking here in my podcast studio in my garage in Las Vegas. It is 104 degrees outside, so it's a little dewy. Anyways, if you're new here, please tell me where you're listening from. If you are back for more, hit the thumbs up button. Let us know that you're here. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today, I've got an awesome episode with a beautiful glow getter. Her name is Steph, and she's very new to the program, 8 weeks in. I'm excited for you guys to hear what this mom, very busy mom of 4, business owner, wife, she wears all the hats, what she's been able to accomplish in just 8 short weeks. Here at the Glow Up with Claude, enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Cloud Code!
Hello, Miss Steph. How are you?
Hi, doing great.
Welcome to the Claude Code. So nice to have you on. Thanks for taking the time to come share your story, your journey with us today, and hopefully inspire, a few women to take control of their health the same way you have.
Yeah.
So can you first tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, what you do?
Yeah, I sure can. Well, my name's Steph. I'm 38. I born and raised in Minnesota. So I am also married now. It'll be 5 years in October. So I'm a wife. I'm a mom to 4 children. I have 2 stepkids. Sophie's 16, Ty's 14. I have my daughter Frankie, who is 10, going to be 11, and then our son Trace will be 3 this next month. So we have the yours, mine, and ours. We have a competitive swimmer, baseball, football, basketball player, and then a competitive soccer player, and then you throw a toddler into the mix. So we're busy.
Woo!
And then I'm also a hairstylist. So I'm behind. What?
And you work.
And I work. Yes. I do not get to stay home, which is fine. I enjoy being the entrepreneur that I am. But yeah, I'm a hairstylist. I'm behind the chair 3 days a week. And then I also work with a beauty distributor, and I work with other stylists on retail products and hair color and all that fun stuff, which I really love. And then I also just got introduced to this new opportunity with this technology company, helping people naturally regenerate their stem cells, which is huge.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
All the things, health and beauty. I love it.
I love it. And I definitely want to hear more about that in a little bit.
Sure.
But I love having women like you on the show because you are proof that no matter how many kids you have, no matter how many sports they play, no matter how many jobs you have, you wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
You still manage to put your health first, eat the right foods, get your workouts in. And by the way, you guys, Steph has lost 20 pounds in 8 weeks here on the Glow Up. And so tell us a little bit about how do you make that work? Like what clicked inside of you that was like, okay, I have to make this work no matter what?
Yeah, I think, timing is everything. And I think you just honestly kind of get to that point in your life where I'm like, I am wearing so many hats, but if I don't take care of myself, everything else is going to fall apart. And I think I was just sick of kind of half-assing it, to be honest with you. Like I was trying to do all the things. I tried to count my macros. And I think a lot of that too was prior to having my son in my upper 30s as well. Like all the things that used to work for me just no longer weren't, it's intermittent fasting I used to do all the time. That could easily help me, which was not really working. And used to be the girl that I'd be like, oh, I can take all these supplements and it's going to be just fine. But no, that's not the case. So I think it just was like, you know what? I can do hard things. And everyone was calling me crazy for doing this at the beginning of the summer because day 1 for me was June 3rd. But I was like, there's never a good time.
No.
There's never a good time. So you have to just be like, hey, I want to do this for me and I can prove to myself. And there's something like really super empowering about it as well. So
about taking care of yourself and like
Yeah, and also like being like during the summer and being around holiday stuff, going through 4th of July, and I threw a baby reveal party for my sister-in-law and making a beautiful cake, and there's all the dips and all the cocktails, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like it's just really empowering to know that you can do it.
I
It's
love
not easy. I mean,
no.
which makes it all more like rewarding when you do like make it through the day. And honestly, I think I used to think of things so far ahead in the future. And with this, I've just been like, what am I doing today? How can I, when I wake up, what am I doing today?
I love that.
And take it day to day. Because I think sometimes we get super like, we can get overwhelmed with being like, oh my gosh, this is a 6 month program. And how am I going to do all this for 6 months? Well,
Yeah.
I just can't even think of it that way. Just like today.
I love that. I think that's one of the best pieces of advice. Like
Oh,
today, I'm going to do 100%. And then tomorrow, same thing. And then the next day, and then the next day. Because it's true. Like if you look at things way too ahead of yourself, it can seem like you have a long way to go. It can seem like this is impossible. So just look at what's right in front of you, like be present time. And also, I think people underestimate what you said about how empowering it is to be the one person at the party who is fit, who is making healthy choices, and the kind of confidence that that really creates within you, and
mm,
the like I feel powerful and I feel limitless, like I can do anything. And honestly, like those characteristics, like people aren't just born with them, right? Like you
mm.
have to like create them within you by choosing hard things and then following through. So, how do you get it all done as a mom and a wife and a business owner of so many hats?
Well, I'm working on my morning routine. That's something obviously that we know here with glow getters that our sleep is very important, and having the whole like being in bed. I try to be in bed by like 9:30 to be asleep by 10 o'clock so I can wake up by 5:36. You know, do a little bit of my journaling or gratitude, and then get up and do my workouts and try to get myself mostly done
Mhm.
w- before my kids wake up, and then it's off to daycare to come back home to get ready to work. But you have to plan, and you have to stay focused. And yeah, I mean right now it's really great because we have like a 2 to 3 week break from sports, so we have nothing that we're
Oh,
running to in the evening. But I will say, like that is the hardest thing too. Like there is many nights where it's like, oh my gosh, we have a game or practice, and we're out and we don't get home till 8:30. And of course, it would be easy to go through a drive-through and grab something, but it's just like, nope, I got goals and I have stuff made at home, and I can just quick make up something. The prep is part of it, and I think prepping on the weekend is huge, because I like my evenings are so crazy, and if I didn't have stuff prepped for me, it would be
mhm.
so easier for me to be like, oh, I don't have time for this, I'm gonna just quick grab something. So you
Yeah,
just have to really, and now I just feel like it's such a habit for me
I
to
love.
just, and I just know, like in the morning, getting up, like if I'm not out of bed by 6 o'clock, and like it's like 6:10, it's like, Steph, this is just going to make your morning so much more like crazy and like stressful. So I just have to remind myself I don't like to feel that way. So just getting up at the time just sets my whole day for success.
Yeah. And you just said, I have to remind myself I don't want to feel that way. And I think
Mhm.
it's important, like, and you may not feel how you want to feel right away. But what you do know is if you continue to do the shit that you're doing, you're going to continue to feel how you feel. So keeping your eyes on the prize is like, okay, I know I don't want to feel like that. I know what happens when I eat this. I know what happens if I don't get my workout in, if I just rush through the drive-through. And you know what? This country has made everything so convenient.
Super
So
convenient.
convenient. And convenience is your worst enemy when it comes to health. You
Mhm.
have to learn different habits, like you said. Prepare. You have to over prepare and
And prioritize.
and
You know,
prioritize.
'Cause
Yes.
that's like another thing too with being behind the chair. Like if anyone else is hairstylist or no, like we don't take time for ourselves. Like I would go from maybe eating something in the morning and I would work my, 9, 10 hour day straight and come home and be, crabby and hangry and eat whatever. But this is the first time in 18 years behind the chair that I have given myself a lunch every day.
Wow. Wow. Bravo.
Instead of being like, oh, I should get that haircut in because it's more money for me. It's like, well, I don't really care if I'm not feeling good. So I will do a lunch instead.
And we talked about this on the group call on Saturday. It's like, what are your values? Is
Mhm.
your value to like fuck off your body and just be like, whatever, I'll just starve all day so you can
Yeah.
make an extra, I don't know, 100, $150? Like
Mhm.
you have to, I think it's important for women to get clear, like what's important to me to feel good, to feel relaxed and at peace, to actually love what I'm doing and for my body to look and feel the way I want it to feel. Oh, like those are your core values over, well, I have to get like 10 clients in today. No, like, and that's the thing is I hear a lot of times women will be like, well, I don't have a lunch. And that's your fault that you don't have a lunch because it is within all of your power to say between the hours of 12 and 12:30 or 12 and 1, I'm not taking clients because I prioritize feeding and fueling my machine.
Mhm.
And I commend you for doing that. It's really just like, you just have to be willing to change your habits. That's it. Like, obviously what you're doing now or what you were doing then wasn't cutting it. Okay, so let's change some things. And all my mamas out there, I know sometimes like you think, okay, I'm going to have my morning routine and then your kid gets up. And that's okay. Like women are fluid, like go with the flow, but organize and plan for something and at least wake up to hit it. And if your kid interrupts, okay, your kid interrupts,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Because I'm sure it's not like smooth sailing every morning at your house trying to hit your morning routine.
No.
It's not
Never.
here. So,
Never.
um, what would you say is like the hardest part about my program for you?
The hardest part.
If there is one.
I know. I mean, it's like hard at different, I guess, in a sense of like, I think it's just such a mindset thing, right? Like I was just right in the beginning, I remember being like, oh, like I have, like with my meals, right? I love that I'm only actually eating 3 times a day because I'm not much of a snacker. And I think because of my job and being behind the chair, I'm used to not like snacking. So I love like that. But I think I was so like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get sick of eating these like things. And I think you
Mm,
know, like the hardest part is like being able to like change it up. But then I just remember you being like, it does like this is just fuel for our bodies right now. And we need to not try and complicate it. We need to keep it simple. And
yeah.
I think just like even sometimes if I feel like, oh my gosh, this is like I'm having this again, I just try and like flip that mindset of like, Steph, this is fueling your body right now, and that's all its purpose right now.
I just
Yeah.
wonder if people would be as upset that that you were eating the same thing. If it was like pancakes in the morning with
Oh
pasta
no,
at
no.
lunch, I think people would be like, oh my God, I could eat this every day. So
Yeah.
like, it's not
I mean,
really
I could have
about the
tacos for
bowl,
lunch and pizza for dinner probably all the time, but
you know,
it's
and a
just a
bowl.
mindset.
It is totally a mindset thing, a mindset shift and perspective of like, you get to eat that food. Like, are you kidding me? How lucky are we that we get to eat fresh, whole foods and not, you know, I don't know what people in other countries eat or people that can't afford to like even go get that kind of food.
Yeah.
And so it's important not to take that for granted. But yeah, it is. Nutrition is so hard because there's a lot of things tied to food. There's emotional time, emotions tied to food. There's traditions and like family stuff and childhood things. And we have to like unglue ourselves from all of that and then really start looking at food like fuel and healing. And while we're talking about food, I always like to remind you, my clients, everyone out there, when you choose to eat anti-inflammatory or like whole foods diet, remember when you start, you're in a healing phase. Like I'm just getting your body to heal. We're getting rid of the bad bacteria. We're getting rid of inflammation. We're resetting the body so that it can work better, work more optimally, right?
Mhm.
So let you change your body composition, you heal your body. Well, now your body can handle different foods. So it's not like you're eating like this forever, but it is for now.
Mhm.
And it's important for anyone listening out there, any woman, anybody, like stop looking at it as restrictive and look at it as this is healing my body and resetting it back to a place where it's functioning and I'm not going to get sick and I'm not going to gain a bunch of weight and be really fat. I'm actually going to have more muscle and be healthier. And then once you reach that place, okay, cool. Now nutrition can look a little different. Anyways,
Mhm.
just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so nutrition possibly being the hardest part.
Yeah.
Have you been
I
test
mean,
Go ahead.
I would say I was like, I mean, I feel like cocktails, I would throw that in there. I think I would feel like I'd have the hardest time with that, especially being in summer, because that's just was my go-to. Whenever it was like
Mhm.
stressful with the kids and all of like, give me my wine. Like that was just like my coping mechanism. Like just, I would probably not have wine Monday or Tuesday night, but pretty much every other night. Like just, it was just a habit of that's what made me feel good. But then I didn't sleep great and I kind of felt sluggish in the morning and it just, so and I think obviously I would get to the point where it's like, oh no, I'm gonna just cut it out during the week, right? Like I'm just not gonna do it during the week. And then I would just have it on the weekend. And then maybe it's just one night on the weekend. Or like now I think the weekends get here and they are really kind of, just like that habit of like, oh, it's Friday night, let's like have a cocktail. But I think
Yeah.
it's really great um, with having our group calls on Saturdays because I really feel like weekends probably are the hardest. They are for me, and I would think for most others, like just to kind of like regroup, refill our cups, and just have that. So I really do think that helps, like going through your week if you are having those hards, like to have that accountability on Saturday, I think has been really helpful too.
I love that. Yeah. I need it. I need those calls with you guys on Saturday, not necessarily for the accountability of anything, but like to connect with women who are working as hard as I am, who are putting themselves first. Like it's important to have a community of women who just get it and
Mhm,
who, who you can lean on and just remember like, oh, okay, I'm not in this alone and I'm not the only one struggling.
mhm.
And you're right, Claude. I don't no drinking on Friday or Saturday or ever. Okay. Gosh, what a lie we've been told with alcohol, but that's for a different
Yes,
call.
yes. Mhm.
What's your favorite part?
Yeah, I really think the accountability because my favorite part is just having accountability and having that community because I think before this, I mean, I've been watching you for years and I've kind of always told my husband like I'm doing this someday. I have to do this someday and you kind of keep pushing it off. And it's just like, oh, now I look back, if I would have done this so long ago, like that would have been great. But I think for so long we tell ourselves like what what does Chloe know more than what we know? And like I can do it on my own. I mean, you know way more. But like that's why I think we think like, oh, I can do this myself. I can count my calories, I can count my macros, I can do whatever. But no, like, no, you can't really. Like the accountability, I think is huge and just having someone that knows more about what's going on with our hormones and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the accountability and again having other women going through the same thing you are. I mean, who doesn't love that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It helps because
Yeah.
already it's so hard doing what we do because we're
Mhm.
literally surrounded by shit food, people drinking, it's summer or the holidays come around and it's already so hard. And so to
Mhm.
try to do it alone and not be connected to anyone else who understands what you're going through can be really, really hard. And honestly, like when you just get a plan, like you get somebody who says, here's what you eat, here's how much, here's your workouts. And you're like, okay, fine. And then the brain is like, cool, I can just focus on that. When you're
Yep.
trying to do it alone, like you may go, okay, well, I'm going to try this. And then like something else on Instagram pops up and you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. And then you're never committed. And also the investment part, when you pay attention. And just the simple act for most people
Mhm.
of just putting that money out there and saying, hey, I'm worth this, is already like elevating you. It like puts you in this different state of attack. Like, well, I'm not going to waste that money.
Right. I
And
think the workouts too.
the
Like,
work,
yeah, coming from like, because I've followed you on like Beachbody and doing all, like, I think I used to be like, oh my gosh, like if I wasn't dripping sweat doing a hit workout with, all the weights, like I wasn't achieving anything.
yeah,
Let me tell you, I mean, I've been doing them since however long, and I feel stronger now than I ever have. And to be honest, I might be like breathing heavy or like glistening, but I am not dripping like sweat like I was, because I'm lifting heavier with doing just more circuit, workouts, and maybe more low impact, but just heavier weights.
yeah.
So it's crazy. Like,
It is crazy.
it's
And
like sometimes I'm like, oh, that was all my workout was today. Sweet.
I literally, like, after 6 months of starting my weight training and healing journey, like I looked back and I was like, I lost 35 pounds doing that.
Right.
And I didn't have to like run myself into the ground and sweat and get my heart rate up to,
Yeah.
the heavens above. Oh, cool. And, that's the importance of muscle for you. And it's
Yeah.
not something that we're taught ever growing up. And it's important to like adapt and change and let go of those old ideologies of like, well, no, it's cardio. And it's eating every 2 to 3 hours, because there's research now, and also 800 of my beautiful clients who don't do any of that shit and get results. Go with whatever resonates with you, but be willing to change and learn. And my clients like Steph, who succeed and get results, they commit. They commit. Sorry, let me back that up. They believe. Like, you believe, yes, I can. And then you commit, and you commit 100%. And then you show up and you have discipline and you make the sacrifices necessary. And I think that that's so important. Like, drown out the noise, commit, go with your gut, and jump. And what I love also about Steph is she started on my group program. And then I offered my current clients like this massive discount working with me one-on-one. And she was like, I need to do that. And had she not jumped into the group program, that opportunity, that would have never opened up for you.
True. Very
Right.
true. Right.
And when you take those steps forward and I'm coming here to lose weight. Your life is
So much,
about to transform. Yes.
so much more.
So much more than that. What else, when you say so much more, like, can you tell us a little bit about maybe like in your business or in your life or any other things that may have been impacted by you just starting to take better care of your health?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's just a whole like mindset thing, because you're focused on making all these really great choices for yourself throughout the day, and you're feeling better. So I feel like my relationship's better with my kids. I'm not so on edge and so irritable all the time. And then with my husband as well. I mean, I think he would love for my libido to go up even a little bit more, but you know,
Who wouldn't? Like, what
yeah,
person
right.
out there
I was
wouldn't?
like, come on, again, we're busy. But yeah, I just think like again, my energy is different. People can even just tell in me. I feel like it's crazy maybe the amount of like mental clarity just that you have when you get rid of all those toxic things that are in your body. Like, you just start thinking clearer. It's you just got to do it and then experience, right? Like, we know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of crazy how I feel like since I've done this, like how many like different doors have opened, and I really truly believe that's because I'm doing this for myself, and that if I wouldn't have maybe these opportunities wouldn't be there because I wasn't in the right state myself, so I
Yeah.
just think it's a ripple effect, and how it's super rewarding,
I love it.
really.
That's beautiful. And again, another testimony of like waiting for things to happen to you. That's just like a false, I don't know who taught us that that was anything that we should be doing. Like, you fully have to create it with every decision and every very scary decision. and sacrifice and discipline, like you are creating all these opportunities. You're creating these relationships with your kids by making these hard decisions and these choices. You're not just sitting there like, why is this happening to me? And there's nothing I can do. There's always something you can do. But the answer you're looking for is never going to match your budget.
Mhm.
God is not checking your bank account, He's checking your faith. And I love, Steph, I have so much admiration for you for trusting your gut, having faith, taking the scary jumps.
Mhm.
And it shows. 20 pounds in 2 months is no easy feat. And I'm going to show right here your side by side, your progress pic, because it is progress. It's not even her full transformation. She has 4 more months to go. And I'm like, I don't even know what we're going to do in that time. You look incredible.
Oh, thanks. Well, I feel incredible, but it is really exciting to see just like this is where I am for 2 months. So it's like, oh, where am I going to be in another two and then another,
Yeah.
two. So it is super exciting. And like I haven't, I mean, yeah, swayed left or right. It's just, looking forward.
That's it. As I say, like put your blinders on and just trust.
Mm-hmm.
Because the results also come from like you trusting in them. So if let's say you commit to a program and then the whole time you're doubting it, or you're like, I don't know, your body can hear you. Like your thoughts are creating your reality. So jump in and like believe full on. I'm not saying every day is going to be like easy to, you may step on the scale one day and you're like, wait a second, why did I gain a pound? But you just go, nope, just keep going, just keep trusting.
Yep.
And if you've been treating your body a certain way for 20 years and expect it to just bounce back in a month or two, that's crazy. Even 6 months isn't that long of a time, you know? Um, so Steph, talk to us a little bit because I also think you're great in the sense that you do care a lot about health and helping other people get healthy. So what is this X39? Is that what it's called? What is it?
Nice job. Yes, girl.
I
very
do.
very impressed. Yeah. So yeah, I think through like this all I was kind of like mid-June, like at this crossroads of like what I'm wanting to do, where I'm kind of wanting to like go. And I've kind of just been praying and being patient to see kind of what's gonna be happening. And I've felt something kind of on like the cusp. And I just was like, what is this? Like, just kept praying. And then all of a sudden it was like boom. So yeah, basically it's this technology company. It's been around for 20 years. David Schmidt is the CEO and inventor, and he actually started by working with Navy SEALs, like down in submarines, because they're down there for 30 hours at a time, right? And it's just like, how do they have the energy to stay awake? And there's no sunlight down there and things like that. So he's been working on this technology for about 10 years and just was launched like 2, 3 years ago. So there's a 17-year patent on it, which I think is fantastic. If you know anything about patents, like they need to be scientifically proven that they do what they say they're going to do. So there's nothing like that out there right now. And basically it's just this. I'd show you it's on my stomach, but we don't need to do that right now. But it's just,
Right?
yep, it's the little patch like the size of a quarter, and you literally put it on for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And again, I have just been kind of praying for simplicity because of all the other things I was taking and doing before. I was like, oh, there's just got to be a simpler way to kind of, help all this. So it's literally one thing you do 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And it's basically phototherapy. So it's low levels of light therapy that it's non-dermal. So nothing is toxic, or it's all natural organic. And it's basically kind of reflective. And it's going to, the lights, low level of lights is going to help communicate with your body. And it actually helps elevate our copper peptides in our body, which as we get older, those go away. And there's, you can take supplements of copper, you can do other things, but like the way that our body has to absorb all those supplements you're taking, it's not as beneficial as something going directly with light therapy. So that's really huge. And then it's regenerating our stem cells. So again, as we age, like by the time we're 30, we're already lost half of our stem cells. And then when we're 60, they're like pretty much gone. So, and we know obviously with doing our anti-inflammatory diets, things like that. Like inflammation is the silent killer, you guys. Like it is so horrible. And if we can do as much as we can to help to get rid of disease, if we can help with cancer. I mean, we do not claim that we, cure, heal any of that, but it's just, general wellness that I just keep continuing to get blown and blown away about all the testimonies of what it's doing for people. So if I can just offer, a little bit of hope to people or be a light, that is what I'm really excited to do. So
Beautiful. And I will list your Instagram in
oh,
the
cool.
description. Yeah. So if you're watching the YouTube, I'll put it in the description. And if you're listening to the podcast, I'll also put it in the description. You can follow Steph on Instagram, and I'll put your website on there too. If you have one, people can click on it to learn more. But I always like to spread the health. And of course, this is not to be done without first having your foundational things in line, like having your nutrition, having your exercise, having great sleep hygiene, and managing your stress. Like no supplement, no nothing. Like, yes, it might
Yeah.
help a little bit, but
Mhm.
let's get the foundation of your body really solid, like the
Yeah.
foundation of home, so that anything you add on top will really, to me, it's like now we're really getting the benefits,
Yeah. Yep.
the patch or whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the energy that it's crazy. Like I used to take an energy, like natural energy drink every day. I've been taking it in a week, which is insane for me.
you mean you were taking energy? Oh, are you talking about your energy pink
Yeah.
juice?
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't, yeah, like my energy just
I
feels
mean,
so great.
I love it. I
So yeah,
love it.
that on top. Yep, you have to have everything else set up right to be able to, I feel like, amplify it so much more.
Yeah. My analogy is always like this. Like you can have a piece of poop on the floor and you can spray Windex on it and go, look, I cleaned it, but the poop is still there. And that's basically what you're doing when you're not addressing your nutrition or exercise or sleep or stress, but taking all these supplements and things like that. You're just spraying Windex on the poop. What we want to do is pick it up with a paper towel.
With a
And
glove.
we need to remove, okay, the turd from the floor. And proper nutrition, exercise, all of that is removing the dirt from the floor in your body. So now your body's clean and it's obviously going to absorb nutrients way better. And just nutrition alone, honestly, can make such a difference in your health and your energy. And
Yeah,
so
huge.
I'm Steph, I'm so proud of you for everything that you've done in 2 short months. Like you have no idea how grateful I am for you, for making me look good, for being a walking testimony for Glow Up with Claude, and for all other women who are watching. I hope you share more of your story, and I'm so happy to share you and what you do for health as well. Any last words that you would like to say to any women out there listening who are struggling and who are like, they're doubtful or fearful of the financial aspect of it, or they don't trust it? What do you say to somebody, a woman going through all these things?
Yeah, I mean, I get it because I was there for a couple years and you're going to just wish that you did it sooner. So again, just take the leap of faith. It really, to me, it's priceless. You can't really put a dollar sign on how I'm feeling. And it's just, you may think it's a lot now, but it's going to actually save you in the long run because, who knows if you're going to get diabetes, if you're going to get anything on top of it, which I was like pre-diabetic and I just had a doctor appointment this morning to just get my A1C just to check to see. So I'll let you know what it is. So I'm curious to see what that is because I was just like borderline right at the top there.
Okay.
But yeah, so I would just tell them to trust their gut and to know that they're not alone and that you are an amazing coach and you're very knowledgeable. And I'm so grateful that I said yes. And they won't be sorry.
Thank you so much, Steph. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so fucking proud of you. You guys, if you
Thank you.
enjoyed this episode, please click the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Show us a lot of love. Follow us on Instagram and come back for the next one. Steph, thank you so much. You are such a gem. I'm honored to have you today.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.